Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for the metals price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with the gold today, of course, where we have a quick update here. A little bit with the all-time history. We might have two possibilities. I will explain, of course, where you have zigzags as a wave 1, 2, another zigzag wave 3 is unfolding here for a potential leading diagonal, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This leading diagonal might have finished, of course, this wave 3, or of course one more high, to reach exactly the perfect fib levels here. Anyway, we already reached them, by the way. This was our blue box. We have reached them. But because we might still, of course, get higher prices a little bit here, a 4,671 is very, very likely, of course, still to be unfolding as a wave 3, still, of course, as diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 leading diagonal. In this case, wave 4 is required in this blue box. Now, minimum target for wave 4 in diagonal is 0.23, which it might reach the $2,233 here for wave 4 before moving towards the upside again for wave 5. Now, another possibility is, of course, that you are in something very impulsive here, considering, of course, the price action of the gold since the 60s, where you have a 1, 2 here, wave 3, 4, and a 5 as an impulse wave 1, and then wave 2, and you have another impulse with extended wave 1, 2, and 3, 4, and a 5 towards the upside. And that means, of course, this wave 4 might be more shallower than, of course, the wave 4 in diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Whether you are in 1, 2, 3, 4 here, it is, of course, less deeper, and then, of course, we might continue simply toward the upside here. Highest possibility is the impulsive wave that it is unfolding here for the gold, actually more than the diagonal one. Meaning right now you might be, of course, in a wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish a wave 3, and then we are expecting a wave 4 and a 5, of course, to reach the 3,155 potentially as a target in a wave 4. If we get one more high internally before we move for a wave 4, therefore, of course, this target might shift for higher even later on and updated, of course. Now, if we move a little bit closer here, we can see on the channeling, I would like to show today a channeling option also, which is very interesting with the Elliott Wave. I always use this also with the crypto market. When we have an impulse, a base channel, which is, of course, the yellow channel here, is very interesting to watch, because if you start a 1, 2 here, you have the wave 1, of course, which the base channel is based on, and of course, this wave 2 as well is a support for this base channel. You would like to see that the wave 3 exit exactly this base channel as a confirmation that this is a wave 3 as an impulse. After this, you would like to see, of course, a corrective wave, which is our blue channel here. And this corrective wave has to reach, of course, the base channel again. Sometimes, of course, it goes even to the midline of the base channel before it starts, of course, a new move as a wave 5 toward the upside. Now, the wave 5 has to, of course, break first the corrective channel, as you can see. The corrective channel is taken from the highs and the lows, of course, of this corrective wave. And once the price breaks it, that is a signal that the wave 5 is unfolding toward the upside. Further stronger signal here is that the wave, the acceleration channel, which is the green here, based on the wave 2, and of course, taking the wave 3 as a support, you would like to see the price for a wave 5 getting inside the acceleration channel. And of course, sometimes if the trend is really very strong, of course, we can break the acceleration channel. And then, of course, we're going to move to it later on, using it as a support in case we still have 704.5, meaning later on, if the price will stay inside the acceleration channel and find a strength again, very, very likely that this is going to transform to double 1, 2, guys. 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5 towards the upside. So it can turn, yes, very impulsive, of course, for the gold. And it can, of course, show some much higher strengths here. And especially that I see, of course, this wave 5 is breaking the acceleration channel very, very massively. So to be watched, of course, for the gold here as a channeling. Very interesting, guys, to keep an eye on it. Now, as labeling, of course, for Elliott Wave, we are looking right now at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 currently. Of course, before shifting this to a wave 3, we are in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave 3, 4, and a 5. And we still, of course, here have a several 4, 5, right? Because you have double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5. Currently, we are exactly in the wave 4 still for the gold, and it might be something unfolding, of course, as an ending diagonal. So we're gonna see it, of course, on the lower time frame here. On the 2 hours chart for this wave 4, that it might still be unfolding over there. It can be, of course, a bigger ABC toward the downside here. The wave C can be the 1-to-1 fib level, as of course at 3,780, or it can be, of course, a triangle. Now, this triangle already can be A, B, C, D, and you required a wave E here, at least to the mid part of the triangle, and start the move toward the upside for a wave 5 again. Target 4,500, 4,600 dollar for the gold. Another possibility is still a triangle, but in an extended triangle, meaning you reach a little bit deeper, 3,940 here, as an A, B, C, of course, zigzag. You reach only here without taking the low. Of course, 3,900 is perfect right now. And then, of course, you see another wave D and an E, and then we push for higher, meaning simply extended a triangle here that it might be unfolding for the gold. And of course, if we take the low and this low, of course, if we break it, and therefore, of course, 3,700 opens for A, B, and a C deeper correction for the gold. Now, on the micro level, more micro levels, we can see, of course, that we are starting here to be a little bit dropping down, of course, as an ABC, because the wave C, as I mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 has been given yesterday. And of course, we start to see a drop down there. Some red, of course, be careful with it. Of course, we might drop a little bit here. Can be a wave E, which is, of course, your triangle wave E finishing up there and then start the move towards the upside. Or it can be, of course, a deeper wave C, meaning you have a zigzag there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave A, B, and a C. 3,940, of course, as well to be watched. However, we're gonna see, of course, step by step. We're gonna see the intraday if it's gonna unfold at least a wave E, and we'll see the reaction over there for the gold if it's gonna continue towards the upside. We don't forget, of course, the bullish possibility here, where you might have a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, and a 5, of course, to reach the high one more time. And of course, finishing up here at wave 5, ending diagonal, which it might simply take the high. Of course, it still can reach even the target as diagonal, but be careful, it might simply take the high because we got a very, very extended wave 3. Normally, a short wave 5 can be followed, of course, after a massive move for the gold. Yep, so that was it for the gold. Let's move for the silver here. So for the silver as well, I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper with the all-time history, but in a quick way. So basically, you can be, of course, in a diagonal here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And very likely it is diagonal, a clear diagonal for the silver. That because, of course, you might have here a ABC zigzag, same as there. But don't forget, from the 60s as well, we have a potential impulse that it might have unfolding there. Meaning it can be a 1, 2, and of course this might be, yeah, wave 3, but hard to call it wave 3 because you barely took the high. And this is why highest possibility here is the diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, wave 5, of course, as zigzags here, where you have also potential zigzag for a wave 5, we're still looking for one more high. We're still looking for the blue box as well, where you are internally here in an ABC. The wave C is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5 has to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Of course, one more high toward the upside can be given, of course, very, very likely there. Currently, we are in a correction, probably But we have to dive, of course, deeper inside it to see what's going on inside this correction there. So on the daily, of course, this correction can have, of course, several possibilities still. A, B, and a C, which I start to doubt it, of course, was this high here. And I start to give a little bit higher possibility, of course, for the zigzag wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for something as an ending diagonal here is probably unfolding, and that because, of course, we got invalidation here. If you are in 1, 2, 3, wave 4 interfered with the zone 1, which is not allowed, therefore it is a zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, very, very likely to unfold here for the silver. If we dive even inside it on the 2 hours chart here, we can see, of course, that this possibility is still very likely. Now, as I mentioned, 54.36 might be confirmation for higher. And, of course, we might be in an ABC here, expanding flat, where we hit perfectly, of course, our 1.618. But we still see strengths here. You know, we still can see strengths for the silver, and we still see something unfolding for higher. So if this is gonna happen and we take the confirmation, even if we take it, meaning we invalidate, of course, any kind of impulsive wave towards the downside here. If this is gonna happen, that means, of course, yes, this is a confirmation, even if we drop a little bit, yeah. But that will be a confirmation once you take it, a confirmation for the diagonal. So we're gonna drop here for a potential wave B, A, B, and a C, because you are in a wave 3 in diagonal. And that means, of course, we're gonna drop down 4 and a 5, of course, to reach the target at the end. So the silver is showing strengths here, guys, and it's very, very interesting what we are looking at for the silver here. All right, so the final one we have here is Palladium. So Palladium, also on the all-time history here, we are looking at a potential 1-2, and then another 1-2, of course, where you would like to see a wave 3 unfolding toward the upside. Another scenario is a zigzag finished wave A, and you're looking ABC expanding flat wave B, and you're looking for a wave C toward the upside. Targets are, of course, based on wave C, 3,800 and around it. But if you are in a wave 3 here, you might reach the 5,000 for Palladium. On the 4 hours chart for Palladium, we are looking here at a potential 1-2 and then a follow-up for a potential leading diagonal in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. If we dive also much more inside it, after this wave 4, where you have reached, of course, the perfect target here, and of course the 0.618, which is uncommon target actually, but we start to see a reaction, which I still doubt it a little bit, but actually the price action is showing confirmation for higher taken and not confirmation for lower. And that means, of course, very, very interesting. But what we are watching right now as a key level here is the 1,453, which is an ABC. Confirmation can be here given if we drop down as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning this wave C is unfinished yet and might still, of course, hit our blue box as expected, of course, as an ending diagonal. So basically on the 1 hour chart as well, if I dive inside this wave C, well, I see a finished structure almost. Well, maybe here it's turning into also ending diagonal. It's gonna range a little bit there and then start the move toward the downside for Palladium, probably for the next price action. Yep, so this is the update for the metals, gold, silver, and Palladium. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.